I supercharged my BMW M3 and it was probably the worst decision that I made for this car.
This is my 2011 BMW E92 M3. Came with a 4-liter naturally aspirated engine from the factory, well, not anymore, and made about 414 horsepower, 295 pound-feet of torque from the factory. But I supercharged it. So let's take a look at what's inside. I left the hood open so we can go ahead. All right, nice. ESS tuning. This is the G1 Supercharger Kit from ESS. It's the newest kit on the market for the superchargers on this platform. And the key difference is that it came with their own supercharger. Previously it was used by Vortec. Vortec was putting their blowers on this car, but this is their own blower. It's actually much sleeker in design than the previous systems.
So why did you click on this video? Why did I title it the best and the worst decision to do on your E92 M3? And well, one, I had to get you to click on the video somehow, but two, I wanted to talk about the benefits and the drawbacks, right? So let's talk about it. While I'm driving, let's talk about it. I think it would be a good opportunity for me to express while I'm actually in the canyons. So one, this car from factory came with a 414 horsepower, 8,250 redline RPM, 4-liter naturally aspirated V8. And arguably, it's the best sounding V8 you can get. Yeah, so, I mean, come on. It sounds amazing, like it's fantastic. So, why did I supercharge it? Well, I got bored, I'm not gonna lie, I got pretty bored with the 414 horsepower. But the thing is, I daily drive this car. And this car makes 295 pound-feet of torque. That's not a lot of torque at all, considering BMW M is one of the main leaders in motorsport for sports cars. 295 pound-feet of torque from a 4-liter V8 is kind of embarrassing. So I supercharged it because I wanted to have that power to overtake people on the highway without worrying about, you know, holding my foot on the gas for too long. So what happened as a result? What's the result? ESS claims with this supercharger kit, this specific G1 ESS supercharger kit, you're going to get 650 horsepower bolted on with about 300 to 400 pound-feet of wheel torque. Okay, so that's a 200 horsepower and about 200 to 160 pound-feet of torque increase from the factory figure. Hold on, we got to do a quick pull. Up. This is okay. I want to talk about something else. The sound. Oh, this is insane. Okay. The sound in this car. The E92 M3. If you're not familiar with this car, it is revered among German car enthusiasts and people who love the German car scene, the European car scene, and the car scene as a whole, as one of the best sounding V8s you can buy out of a dealership. This car sounds phenomenal, right? Without a supercharger, without any modifications, you can just slap an exhaust on it and it will sound fantastic, right? What this supercharger does, it's difficult to hear from inside of the cabin. However, you will hear this car plenty in this video from the front end and the rear end of the car. I will put clips. This car sounds insane. It spools like a turbocharger. That's the benefit of having a centrifugal supercharger, especially with this blow-off valve. It's the Vortec Max Flow blow-off valve, if I'm not wrong. It sounds insane. Insane. Let me lower the window. I want to see if I can get something. This is first gear. I'm just gonna let off. You hear that? It sounds like it just spools. You hear it? And if you take it up to a high enough RPM, it literally flutters like a turbo. It sounds insane. So, two things. Power, torque, well, three things. Power, torque, and sound. And I want to talk about the fourth thing, relative to modifying cars in general, the cost. The cost was not as bad as I expected it to be. I paid $5,500 cash for this kit, and it bolts right up to the car. It bolts right up to the engine. I didn't pay a shop to do it. I did it myself. I thought that was a great expense saved, and it definitely was. It took me 8 hours to put the kit on. I have not much experience working on cars. I just like to, you know, take things apart, put things back together. So I was patient, and it took about 8 to 9 hours to put the kit on. If you get this kit yourself, I highly recommend you put the kit on. Oh, thank you to the Prius. I appreciate it. Let us go. I highly recommend that you get this kit and you do it yourself. This sounds insane. Hold on, I want to see if I can get it to flutter for you guys. This is second gear. Maybe not, but it does. I didn't take it up to a high enough RPM, but it definitely does. So we were talking about price. About $6,000 installed on the car without a labor charge, because I did it myself and you guys can too. It comes with instructions in a PDF that are very detailed, down to each screw that you need to take out and put in, and it tells you the tools that you need, as well as about how long it's going to take you depending on your experience. So I put that in the benefits of the car, right? I think the cost is definitely one of the benefits of this car. For $6,000, you are getting a pretty big package. You're getting a car that goes from 414 naturally aspirated horsepower to about 650 horsepower, 650 crank horsepower. I'm speaking in crank terms. You're getting over a 200 horsepower increase, you know, depending on your setup. You know, if you take your cats off, assuming you have an exhaust, you put a free flow exhaust system. It comes with its own intake system, and the tune you will need to purchase from ESS. I'm sponsored by Alpine, or I mean your favorite tune provider, honestly. I recommend Alpine. Alex is a genius. He's a mastermind at what he does. So for about $6,000, you're getting 200 horsepower increase, a significant torque increase, and the sound. I need to do this again. I'm gonna stop in the middle of the road. I need you guys to hear this car flutter. All right, I'm gonna take this off, but I need you guys to hear this car flutter. Just listen, please. We're in neutral. It's not fluttering right now, but it usually does. I promise. I think I removed one of the hoses, and that's why it's not fluttering, because it's releasing more air pressure that would allow it to not flutter than what it usually does. That sound. Come on, bro, that's insane. That is insane. You're not getting another car that sounds like that unless you want to pay a lot more. The throttle response on this kit, this car has 8 individual throttle bodies. So from the factory, the throttle response is fantastic. With this supercharger, you're getting the exact same power delivery. You're just shifting that power and torque curve up about 200 units, which is insane. Okay, you're getting the same exact car that pulls arguably faster than a stock R8 rear-wheel drive. Like, so some cars that I want to mention that I've raced and that I'm faster than. V10, okay, from 2016 or 15, 2015 R8, okay, a rear-wheel drive Huracan, a GT3 RS. This is straight line speed. This is a car that's not, you know, necessarily built for straight line speed, just to experiment. A GT3 RS, a GT4 Porsche, Aston Martin Vantage, a BMW M5 competition, the F90 generation. That is the new one. That is the brand new one. Okay? To put in let me put this in perspective for you really quick. This car does 60 to 130, for those of you who know the 60-130 times, on a slight downhill in 7.2 seconds. For a bolt-on modification, which is exactly what this is, going from a 10-second 60 to 130 to a 7.2 downhill, I mean, if it was uphill, it would probably be about a 7.9, average about a 7.7, 7.6. That's insane. A factory F90 M5 competition. We have one at home. This is how I know. I've tested it. 8.3 stock, okay, from a 2020 model. You're getting all your power about 5,000 RPM, just like factory, but it pulls like a freaking freight train. Come on. That is insane. Okay, that is insane. So you're getting a package, right? You're getting a car that's faster than a lot of supercars. So you're keeping up with a lot of cars now, like a significant amount of cars. I was just on Legends Rally with Daniel Mack, right? We were going pretty fast. There was a McLaren GT 850 wheel horsepower. There was supercharged VF supercharged 850 horsepower kit Huracan. His car was faster, not significantly faster, but it was faster. Let me tell you what we learned. When we raced, he was putting about so it was like 60 roll, 1, 2, 3, go. Started going like this. He started gaining some significant distance. So by the time we got to about 130, 140 in Mexico, filmed that in Mexico, he put about 2 car lengths on me. So that's not a bus length, and this is an E92 M3. It's a $40,000 car. Okay, I got the car for 30 grand. This mod was 6K plus all the maintenance and stuff, whatever. I put probably 40, 45K in the car with all the mods and whatever. $45,000 car. Comparing it to a kit that costs more than this car as a whole. I think the supercharger system is $50,000 just to put the supercharger on your car, on your Huracan from VF. Don't quote me on that, but I believe it's a very high figure, just like that. He put 2 car lengths on me, and I didn't know he was supercharged at the time. So I was like, okay, Huracan, of course, it's a much faster car. I didn't get a chance to race the other Huracan that was on the rally, but I've raced another Huracan before, a rear-wheel drive, a 580 Evo. I don't know if it's a 580. It was a 580. It wasn't an Evo. It was a 580, and I was pulling on him. Okay, I was pulling on him. This was at Willow Springs Raceway. We did a drag race down the strip on the main straight. That car it's a fast car. It's a Lamborghini Huracan. It's a 580. You know, it's just a rear-wheel drive 580 horsepower Huracan. That car should be faster. It's much lighter. It has a much better transmission, even though it's a dual clutch, as this car has. You know, it's a Lambo, dude. It's a freaking Lamborghini. You should be faster. He wasn't. So for 6 grand, you're getting a car that's faster than a rear-wheel drive Lamborghini Huracan. You're getting a car that is capable of over 200 miles an hour, even factory, but now it's capable of much more. You're getting a car that has a significant amount more torque. You're getting a car that sounds insane even before, but now after, it adds so much to the sound even afterwards. So there's not much you can go wrong with in this kit by supercharging your E92. But there are some drawbacks that I want to talk about. Well, those were the benefits. Those were the good things. Those were the pros of supercharging your E92 M3. Now, it was my responsibility at the beginning of this video not only to explain the pros, but to also explain the cons. And that's exactly what we're going to talk about now. The E92 M3 as a standalone platform without the supercharger, without any modifications. You buy the car from the dealer. It has the 4-liter naturally aspirated V8, revs all the way up to 8,250 RPMs. However, the compression ratio is 12.5 to 1. For my non-engineers, what that means is that the compression is very high. The higher you rev out, the more power you're going to make in a naturally aspirated car. In this car, it's much more significant in the higher RPMs. So that 6,000 to 8,250 red line all the way up to there, it's where you're making more significant power. Now, what that means for this specific car, there is a huge risk. You might blow your motor. Yeah, I'm not exaggerating. You might blow your motor. And why the heck would anyone build a mass-produced kit for a car knowing you might blow the motor? Well, the risk isn't so high as you might assume. What do I mean by that? What I mean is there's very specific flaw on this car. The specific flaw is that the rod bearings go out. What are the rod bearings? The rod bearings are the bearings that coat the crankshaft to allow oil to flow through. And what happens is sometimes when you don't service the rod bearings, usually you need to do it one time per ownership, the oil doesn't get in between the clearances of the engine, and you'll spin a bearing, it'll overheat, and you will actually blow the bottom end of your block out to space. So what we did on this car, as most E92 M3 owners should do, if not all E92 M3s should do, I'm talking to you're sitting on the couch right now with your E92 M3, 108,000 miles with no rod bearing service on an 08, trying to ask $50,000 for your build. Change your rod bearings. If you change the rod bearings on these cars and you push low boost, this should be making about 6 pounds boost. Then you should be fine. You should be fine. Let's get to the fun part of this video, which is what it sounds like. So, I mean, overall, it sounds insane from what you just heard. But, guys, I'm so grateful if you made it to the end of this video. I'm so grateful for you watching. I know it was a longer video than expected or than usual. I wanted to provide the best review and the best, most detailed information about supercharging your E92 M3. It's not something that I've seen on the internet, so I wanted to address this issue myself. Guys, please, if you enjoyed this video, for me, for the car, for the channel's sake, for me to be making more videos like this better and better, please subscribe to the channel, drop a comment, let me know what you think. Like the video, share the video with your friends. I'm having fun out here. I want you to have fun watching these videos. I want you to be entertained. I want you to be informed. I want everything for you to enjoy this video. So thank you so much. Please drop a subscription and have a great day. Have a great night wherever you're watching. God bless you guys. I love you all. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.